Connor, do you want to ride it?
I do.
Do you know what it is?
Scooter.
What kind of scooter?
No idea. I could probably read some.
Okay, so it's a 2009 Honda Metro that I blew up a long time ago, but then I fixed it. Chris gave me a motor for it. So this is actually the Honda Ruckus motor that's fitted onto the Metro, which literally just bolted right up. And I had Jack help me out. I bored over one of the jets to make it run right because it has this aftermarket filter, because with the Ruckus motor on it, the swing arm here and the transfer case is longer. So when I put it down, the air filter box would just hit this and pull this out, and it cracked it in the back actually. So I put this air filter on there. We bored out one of the jets. I got a new fuel pump from Jean at scootertuning.net, and he helped me out with that. And now it has a vacuum fed fuel pump instead of a electric fuel pump. It has a lot of problems still, but we're working on getting it fixed. So overall though, it's pretty good. I like it a lot. I'm gonna keep working on it. Eventually, if I spend too much money on this thing, I'm just gonna get a motorcycle. So stay tuned for that. We might be getting a Gixxer 700 soon. But at that point, we'll just do moto vlogs and figure out what we can do with that. That's a lot later though, because I need to learn how to be careful on the road and not get killed. But yeah, Connor wants to go for a rip on this thing. We'll show you what this thing sounds like starting up, you know? So we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. I give her a little gas. Oh, she might not start right now. It's been a minute since I started it, so. So we gotta give her a little extra juice. The battery's not great. So it takes a little bit to start. Like I said, we're having problems with it still. If the battery does not have enough juice to get it started, I had to spray brake cleaner in it too. So Jack thinks that the stock choke is not working right. So I might have to get an aftermarket choke for it until it starts. So those two problems there, but really quiet. It's got a bald tire because I keep doing burnouts with it. But you know, it runs, it rides. I just need to get it pretty so that when I hit the button every time, it starts, because then I'm gonna ride it every day. So, Connor, you wanna go for a rip? Don't kill yourself now.
Which brake works?
The front brake only works. Don't actually do that. There you go. Give it a little gas. And careful now, bud. So, it goes pretty quick, so. But yeah, it's not bad. We'll just keep working. What's happening, guys? Today is another day here on the channel. Obviously, you can see it's a new day. I'm wearing some new clothes. We are going to be working on the moped here for a little bit, and then we'll probably get into something this afternoon. My friend Steph's coming by. He's got a Volkswagen. Maybe we could take a rip in that thing and see what we got going on. But today, we're going to be installing this right here. This is the ECU for the Honda Metro Honda Ruckus. And Chris is going to let me use this to test to see if this is going to help me out here. If it is, we'll figure out what we could do between me and him for this thing. But I broke the ECU on this a while ago. I jumped a wire backwards, and then we put too much power trying to use the jumper to start the moped up, and it messed up the ECU inside. So I want to swap this ECU out, see if it's going to help it, and just see what's going on. Because if I can do that, then I will be riding this thing every day, and I probably won't drive any cars or trucks anymore. So I'm just going to ride the moped around and just have fun with that. So let's go ahead and get to it. It's not that hard. We should have this thing all apart in about 5 seconds here, because it's just 2 bolts down here, 4 bolts on the inside. This whole thing comes off. There's like 2 more bolts for this, and then the whole thing will come off. So let's go ahead and get at it, guys, see what we can do today. Okay, guys, so now it's apart. Literally took me probably 10 minutes to do this, not even. I got a phone call, so that's why it took a little bit longer. So here we go. This is the stock ECU that was in it. This is the Ruckus ECU. Let's hope that this one just plugs in and works the same way as this one did. If not, we're gonna have to get another Metro one, and we'll figure that out later. But let's go ahead, plug this thing in. This is what happened. So what happened before when all that electrical stuff happened, I had to straight jumper this, but I have the relay right here. So we're gonna put the relay back in. We're going to put this ECU in, and then we're just gonna try to fire her up and see what happens. So Stay tuned for a couple seconds and we will be right back with what's going on with this. It's a lot going on, not really, but if it runs, then this thing's gonna be awesome. Maybe we'll ride it around today. It looks kind of dreary outside. It's not really that sunny out today, so I don't wanna get caught in the rain with this thing, but we're gonna go ahead and see what's going on in a couple seconds. The Ruckus ECU does not work for the Metro wiring. Sadly to say, I can't use that one. But I'll show you guys what happened here. This was the jumper, like I said earlier. So the jumper had to be put on because something went wrong with the wiring. I don't know, maybe there's a break, something happened, who knows? Maybe there's another module on this thing that I don't even know where it is, but it's not working right. So you have to have this jumper on there. I tried putting in the relay on the other ECU to see if that would work and that would help. That did not. So sadly, we have to use the Ruckus or the Metro ECU. I have been having a hard time getting this thing to start too, and it's because I deleted a lot of stuff when I made my new intake system for it, which you can see it a lot clearer now. So basically all it is the stock pipe that goes all the way out to a pod filter that we put on the end here. And then I have two vacuum tees, one that goes to the top of the bowl float, and then the other one that goes down, I think to like the crankcase or something like that. I don't know what the heck this thing is down there on the side, but you can see the line kind of moving down there. And that's where that one goes. There's this other one that's right here. Okay, this one is on the actual valve cover of the motor. And what happens is when you turn the Metro on, this thing kind of just breathes out. And it wasn't working right. So what happened now is you go to power up. So when you go like this, you turn this on, you turn this on, my thing like flashes up here, the headlight stays on. Oh, well, most of the time it does. I don't know what's going on now, but you know, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and try to start it. Right now it starts up because I just had it started. But what I found out is that if you pinch this off, it'll start up every time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start pinching this off when I start it, and it should start almost every time just by pressing the button without any extra help, no brake cleaner, no nothing like that to get it started. So I'll put the other ECU in really quick to show you guys what's happening with it, but it does nothing like this. It won't even click, no lights. The only light that comes on is the one on the gauge pod right here, and that's the only one that kind of stays on. So no headlight, no brake light, nothing. So we'll go ahead and put that in real quick and we'll show you what's going on with that. So guys, we have the Ruckus ECU here. My friend Steph wanted to come by, so we're gonna do some stuff with him later. But okay, so now you go to turn the key on, key goes on, this goes on. It's doing even less than it did before because this used to stay on. So now we're gonna go ahead and try to start it. Nothing, okay? No clicking, no nothing. The ECU doesn't even sound like it's even on, so it doesn't work, sadly. I was hoping that this one was gonna work so we could have all our lights again and everything would be working. So either way, guys, we have another motor for it. It's right back there. It's a GY6, and we're gonna put that on here, and this thing's probably gonna do 70 afterwards. But that's later on. I wanna just kind of get this thing so I can ride it around daily and just have fun with it. Once I get it to that point, we'll be able to cruise and do whatever the heck we want with it. In the meantime, we're gonna be rocking the Ruckus motor. We're gonna build the GY6 to, I think Jack said it's a 203, 240, something like that. I don't know. It's kind of like the big bore top end kit for it. And then we're just gonna use the stock bottom end and all that stuff and just refresh it all, put new bearings in it and all that good stuff. And then we'll figure out what we can do with that to get that onto here. I guess they have a swing arm kit that'll fab up to this and it works and it does everything it needs to do. So we're gonna swap that onto here eventually, but that's later on down the road. So the other little jumper piece, which is this thing here, we have the relay in here. So now we have the jumper wire into here, and as you can see now, the gauge pod is on, but that's the only thing that comes on now. So the key is still on, this is on here, which is probably bad for the ECU, but we're gonna try to just go ahead and click it again. Nothing. I'm holding the brake down because, you know, sometimes it's sensitive to that. Nothing there. Back brake doesn't work, so we're just going to kind of finagle it real quick and hold that one all the way down like that. Still nothing. So if you guys know anything about this, the odd thing too is that when you turn it completely off, you take the key off, you turn off the on-off switch, the gauge pod still stays on. and that's because the jumper is in here. As soon as you pull this jumper out, the gauge pod turns off. So if you guys know how to get this Ruckus ECU to work with it, be my guest. Send some stuff in the comments and we'll try to figure that out. We're gonna put the Metro 1 back on. We're gonna try to just rip her around, let it cool off completely again, see if I can start it up with the choke piece right there. If that doesn't work, then we gotta just keep working. Maybe we'll just start working on the GY6 and get parts for that thing and then go about that. So we're just gonna keep working on this thing and put it back together, and we'll rip it around for you guys a little bit. Okay guys, so we are now on the Metro, cruising around. It's not that slow. So it's not super slow, but it's not super fast. This thing does about 35, 40-ish if you're kind of tucking and if you got a long straightaway. But it's still pretty cool to ride. We're gonna try to get it so that we can have a couple more lights on it, so that when I'm cruising around, say it gets a little dark out, there's actually a tail light, because right now there is none. And yeah, we're just gonna try to figure some more stuff out with it, guys. Oh man, guys, it's starting to rain. I feel a couple raindrops, but the moped is here. Sadly, that ECU didn't work. Obviously, I told you guys that already, but some of the things I want to do to this thing, other than putting the GY6 on it, is I want to get another exhaust. It's kind of quiet. You guys obviously have heard that. So it's not super loud. It's not super quiet, but it's quiet enough for me. I want it to actually be better looking than this too. My hand's really dirty now. And oh man, I left it on, dude. The battery's probably dead now. So I want to do that. And I'd like to get the conversion for the front and the rear to make it disc brake. That's a lot of money, so we'll figure out that later on. Some other things I'd like to do would be to just get the lights to work on it, get a different blinker set for the front. I would like to have just like one bar that comes off this side that'll blink for both sides. Back here, we can fix this. You just got to retap this or put a nut and a bolt through there. And then you can get the blinker that goes on the back here that has a blinker on both sides. This whole thing here could be deleted then, and I can just kind of take all this off, and then it kind of just go right there for the rear brake light. And each side blinks when you turn the blinker on. And just kind of overall, just go over the whole thing. I was thinking about possibly making a kickstand for it today instead of having this like full engine rear wheel off the ground kind of thing here. And yeah, just kind of keep going with that. I'm gonna go get some lunch right now, and we're gonna take my friend Steph's car right there, Volkswagen. You know, Volkswagen, it beat the 180, so that's kind of cool.